In this video, we will discuss about innate killer cells with CAR, how they can be used to kill these tumor cells. So, what it is, innate killer cells means that these immune cells that are found within this tumor site, they could be these natural killer cells with this CAR construct, or there could be these natural killer cells in this NK92 cells or NK receptor cells, and this CAR can also be introduced in this immune cells, that is gamma delta T cells or the T cells, we can say that. So when we introduce this CAR or natural killer receptors in this NK cells, then they work in this manner, that is this CAR will be expressed in the cells which have in the NK cells which got these stable transductions, and thereby once this CAR gets activated, it will lead to the activations of these co-stimulatory domains that will lead to the release of the cytokines. And it also has this, it can also work in this inhibitory NK receptors, that is receptors that will lead to the deactivations of these NK cells will be inhibited, that we have discussed in the previous video, that their downstream signals will be removed and instead they will be reverse engineered in a way that once this inhibitory signals gets activated, it will cause tumor suppression actions similar to that has been engineered in this CAR construct. And the other things that once this NK cells gets activated, it will cause this antibody dependent cellular cytotoxicity, which is a kind of immune response. And once this CAR is introduced in these natural killer T cells, in this case what will happen is it will not only work as this ADCC, it is once the T cells get activated through this CAR construct or cellular domains in the CAR, it will lead to the release of the cytokines that will cause death of the tumor cells, but it will also activate using this CD1D, which is usually expressed or present in these T cells, which gets activated by these dendritic cells. So once this CAR construct then the tumor associated antigens will help in the activations of the dendritic cells, and these dendritic cells will then activate further T cells. So it's kind of act as a cascading effect. Once the CAR construct has been triggered, or once the T cells has been activated by this CAR construct. And in the other case is of the form of this gamma delta T cells. In this case, when the CAR construct is expressed, so it works similar to this NK cells, that it will also cause the release of this antibody dependent cellular cytotoxicity. In that it will lead to the release of the cytokines such as granzymes, TNF alpha, INF gamma, perforin, that will cause the death of the tumor cells once this gamma delta T cells are activated through this CAR construct. And it can also be engineered through these inhibitory receptors, that is instead of deactivating these T cells, those inhibitory receptors will activate the T cells, and they in other terms, what can be done is that the downstream signaling pathways can be engineered in a way that it won't be activated even though the receptors interact with its corresponding ligand. And this gamma delta T cells has its own receptors which will also help in the activations, that is CD16. which when interact with the tumor cells will cause the activations of these gamma delta T cells. So this is how these innate killer cells can be engineered with this CAR to kill these tumor cells. I hope you understood this basic concept. If you need to understand more about this in detail, you can go through the reference that has been provided in the description. That's all for this video. Thank you for your time.